Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Kauffie Company. We are absolutely sweltering away in here as always, but it's slightly less hot, amazingly, due to the tarpaulin, but it's still pretty unbearable. It is Friday. It's a big weekend for all of us. Tottenham Hotspur are playing Chelsea in the Premier League on Sunday, and we are going to be having a bit of fun, and hopefully we batter them. That's all that matters. Before we get to saying hello to some of the members of the community that have come in early today, amazingly, we're going to make ourselves a coffee, because we need a coffee actually. We're going to do an iced coffee with the new coffee, which is Coffee on Tour, available now. Hopefully everyone is well. We're going to say hello to Mr. Chris Agambar. Big up, Chris. Hopefully you're well, sir. And Mr. Ian Ferguson saying, happy Paul Stewart Day. Praise his name. Praise the name Paul Stewart. Big up, Paul Stewart. Big up, big up. Oh. What's everyone doing today? How's their temperature where they are? I know Chris is probably sweltering away as well. I don't know what it's like in Cincinnati. Mr. Ian, it's unbearable. It's totally unbearable. Right. If you don't know if we've got any guests today, I've sent the link out. But if anyone joins, join. You're not on the show, Bill. So yes, we are joined by my brother is in the building, and he's doing some work here. He's running away from his wife, my sister-in-law, and her family, which is what you do. And we're all just sitting here drinking coffee and hopefully
melting.
And melting, yeah. We're in the Winchester. We're waiting for everything to blow over. We're going to change that song because we don't. is everyone doing today? Chris is saying hello to you. Big up, Chris. Big up, Chris. You should get full quiet. I'd like to get full quiet. How do I get full quiet? The person I really want is Paul Stewart. Hello, sir. Right. You all right? We need to try and get Paul Stewart on the Paul Stewart show. Speaking of getting people on the Paul Stewart show, Mr. Coover, big up, Coover. How are you doing, sir?
Big up, Ben. Sweltering again, can't stand it.
Yeah.
Big up, Ben. Sweltering again, can't stand it.
You've got the stream on the background, Coover.
How many streams are going?
Bloody amateur, Coover. How are you today, sir? How are you?
How many streams are going?
Oh. Coover.
I'm okay. I'm trying to work out who's echoing, me or you.
I don't think it is me. I don't think it's me. No. I hear it through your stream.
Okay, I'm trying to work out who's echoing.
Yeah, it's definitely for your stream. Bloody Coover. Certainly not me, Coover. Certainly not me. Big up, Carl. Big up, Carl. Lovely to see you. Whoop. Coover's rage quit. Coover has officially rage quit. Definitely Coover. Coover, the man that appears on the most amount of streams in the community, still amateur. Uh-oh. Well, whilst Coover's in the background, we're going to make this coffee.
Right, try that now.
You get 200 points for that, Coover. 200 points for the echo. Which is
I like the show so much I had 2 extra versions of it open.
So that's why I've got overinflated viewers today, because you're watching 6 times.
It is, yeah. It's the usual plan. That's also why Bob and Rez are identical.
Except the person that's identical is yourself. Yeah, right.
Looking forward to tomorrow, though.
Looking forward to tomorrow. We're playing the Scum. How do you think that's going to go, sir?
Yeah, I think we want.
We're going to nick that 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0.
It's going to be very, very tough, but why not? Can't be scared of these teams forever. If we're not going to do it now, we never will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old apple.
Big old apple.
You've got a thing, you have a thirst.
And Chris is right. I didn't hit the like button. Have now. Anyway, yeah, I think we've got Conte. He wants to do one over on Chelsea. We want to do one over on Chelsea. Good
we
time to do it.
One over to Chelsea.
And they haven't got that forward and the extra players in time to make any difference if they're going to get them. What is happening with Aubameyang and De Jong?
I know Chelsea are pretending to be Barcelona, but they know if they try and hijack a move for Barcelona, it means Barcelona have to hijack that move. So so they're going to sign him, and then Barcelona are going to hijack him from themselves.
Oh, maybe we should do that. That'll be a good statement of intent as well.
I mean, we should be going for De Jong. I don't understand why we're not trying to sign De Jong. I mean, it'd be perfect for us. Champions League football, good manager.
The sort of wages that give a certain somebody at our club kittens, I think, though.
Yeah.
What, Harry?
But why not?
how
It's
much
the
is
it's the
Dion?
caliber of player we should be trying to get, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But the man that's in control of the checkbook doesn't want players like that. So
Seems that way. Are we now at the usual impasse we get now, where we've got to sell players to buy players again?
yeah, despite the fact they told us that's not the new, that's not what we're doing anymore, as well as not giving Alfie Devine a reason to stay at the football club. Which, if Alfie Devine leaves the football club, mass protest, in my opinion. The youth players, 18 years old, is going to be the next big thing. If he leaves the club, mass protest. He's unbelievable for his age. He's better than Harry Kane was at his age.
I mean, if you're him at the moment and you've got a choice between us or somewhere like Chelsea, where you do see the youth players getting through into the first team, who's the better choice?
Tottenham, the team that used to play youth players and doesn't anymore, and Chelsea, the team that never used to play them, is now playing them.
Yeah, and Abramovich coming in saying they didn't need a youth team, got talked out of it. Now they got one of the best ones.
They seem to go from Tottenham to Tottenham.
Tottenham to Tottenham?
The owner of Chelsea to Tottenham.
The owner of Chelsea is a Tottenham fan. That is a fact.
How do you not know this?
I did know this. The owner of Chelsea is a Tottenham fan.
Doesn't matter, does it, with football? As soon as you got your hooks into one team, you want the best for them.
Yeah, just going to rebrand them.
Rebrand them as Tottenham Light.
Chelsea.
Want us to put want us to put a bid in for Dion just to see Chelsea and United fans have a meltdown. Divine is
Yeah,
the Liverpool
not just a bid, but a bid that's accepted.
Yeah, I mean, we should, like De Jong and Bentancur and Basuma wins you the title, surely. That wins you the title.
It gives you a damn better chance than you had before that. Sort of
I think we had Emerson Royale at right wing back. We'd have De Jong.
We're talking about creativity. There it is.
Yeah.
It's dictionary definition of creativity.
Yeah, just a picture of Luke, just not Luke De Jong. He played for Newcastle. But Carl, where's the Kleenex?
Exactly. That should be the new sponsor then.
Sponsored by Kleenex. It's not Bob's show though. It's too early for that sort of sponsorship.
That should be the stadium sponsor, shouldn't it? The Kleenex box or something.
We're cleaning up all the rubbish that we got. Toilet seat, the Kleenex. Really need Cushell or Charmin to do that with Emerson Royale playing, and who's even worse, Davinson Sanchez or Winks.
Well, no, Winks is an outcast now, isn't he?
Yes, he's been banished. Thank God. Thank God.
Wonder what happens with them. Are we going to see sort of the prolonged Danny Rose experience again, or do you think he'll manage to find another club for himself? Because he surely can't be happy with sitting there not training with the first team.
From what I've heard from rumours, that Winks already did his marketing stuff at Everton, and then Everton pulled out because they've got no money, or they found out they had sense.
And nobody's a fan of pulling out, are they? Ah, yeah.
I've made the decision with most channels is always at wanky wank light. That's how powerful the show is. Damn right. Damn right. Bob has ruined every single channel in the Tottenham community, and including yours, which is a kids show, which is now just wanky wank light.
True. There we go. Anyway,
shows I've ever seen the last week. It was so nice and wholesome. And then Bob turned up. It was like watching my show.
It literally did look like exactly what it was. It was everybody going back to Stell's place from the pub, nicely drunk. Oh, barbecue, wasn't it?
Yeah,
barbecue with tons of mashed potato. That apparently it was a somewhat substantial amount.
Why would you have mashed potato at a barbecue?
They're not mashed potato salad. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was like a kilo of potatoes added. According to Carl, Winks is off to Spain apparently. Valencia have already told them they want him. It's about where the money situation is. I'd get rid of him for a £5. Wouldn't even take a £5. I'd take him for Fredo.
Pay them.
Pay them a £5. And then the plane fee. I mean, get it done. Get it done.
You got to remember just to send them an apology card after about a month or so.
See, I think Harry Winks would be all right in Spain because that's all football is in Spain, sideways and backwards. It'd be brilliant over there.
It's the lack of tackling, really, isn't it? There's no real aggression to the game. So there is with some players, but not a lot. He'd get more time on the ball. Perhaps he can relax a bit more then, because he definitely seems scared of it when he plays in the Premiership.
Yeah. I think he's scared of it when he's not playing in the Prem. I think he's just scared.
Could be that bad tackle, that bad injury he had has just affected him that much. We've had this conversation, I remember. But yes, it's gotta be something at the back of your mind when that sort of thing happens.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when Roy Keane was out for ages after Alfinger? That was another Haaland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I'm imagining things.
Yeah.
Yeah. After
Haaland did tackle him. Haaland did injure him really badly, which is why he did him in.
Yeah. But so if you can imagine it even sticks in the back of Roy Keane's mind. It's got to.
Yeah.
You have an injury that's that bad. You of course you're going to think about I hope that doesn't happen again. Or it's going to affect your game a little bit. With Roy Keane's got a big character though, so he'll come back from it. And
I mean, what Roy Keane did was he took revenge the next time he played him and ended his career.
Yeah, a bit on the naughty side.
That was a bit harsh.
Don't recall seeing what happened to him in the end of that because clearly it was deliberate.
How was Roy Keane not done for assault? If you went out to anyone else and ended their career, if you went out to a financier, you thumped them so hard they couldn't do maths anymore, you would end up going. I mean, you would be nuts 6 ways to Sunday. Yet somehow we can go through him and injure him so badly he can't be a footballer anymore and get away with it.
Revenge.
Why did he not do him for assault?
It's revenge.
He can't have got away with it completely. There was probably some sort of out of court settlement or something. Because I remember there was an ex-player of ours, Danny Thomas, really promising fullback, and he was done by a QPR player called, I think it might have been, it was Maguire, I think his surname was. It was not Danny Maguire, somebody like that. Basically, knee-height tackle off well well missed time. But yeah, the fact it was knee-height, stud showing inside of the knee, ended Danny Thomas's career. And he did sue him, and he did win it. And there was they settled it. He had to pay substantial damages towards him.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine Roy Keane would have got completely away with that because the precedent's already been set. But it's not made big news, was it?
That's what paid for Haaland's robot treatment, which is why he's such a good footballer. He's just
yeah, could be. Roy Keane paid for Haaland.
And now he's out to get United by playing for City. Ultimate revenge.
Play for City. I will be interested in if Barca register Kedsia by tomorrow because he could technically be a free transfer. But they haven't registered about 8 players. They've signed 8 players and they haven't registered any of them. It's about time Barcelona was ended as a football club. It's unacceptable what they're doing. They're making Manchester City look like a good club the way they're run.
Are Real Madrid any different, really?
They register their players.
Yeah, but they keep getting bailed out by the government, don't they?
So did Barcelona.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just not right, is it?
They should just be liquidated as a football club. It's not acceptable. None of the new signings registered, and even said in that bit of infrastructure today, and they still can't register them all. It's mental. They should be liquidated as a football club. We'll just start again. It'd fix Spanish football if Real Madrid and Barcelona weren't football clubs anymore, because then Spain would be competitive. Spain
Well,
is competitive.
look what happened with Rangers. They're effectively they had to start again. I think technically they didn't get liquidated. I think there's some sort of technicality there, but
Yeah.
it was a bit of a rebranding session and dropped down into the non-league, and they had to come up again, didn't they?
Yeah.
So,
They had to go up 3 times though. They had to be promoted 5 times.
Yeah. So in the meantime, has it really done any good for Scottish football? Not now that they're back, but those 5 years while they're missing, it ruined it.
It probably affected Scottish football because you need Rangers in Scottish football. I think football in Spain could survive without Barcelona and Real Madrid because the Spanish have a love for the game and they have a standard of play because of the football they play.
You think there'll be enough competition with the likes of Atletico and Villarreal and Sevilla, Valencia, if they ever recover from their financial burdens. They used to be such a big club as well.
They did.
They've still got half-built stadium, haven't they?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Just multi-million, hundreds of £1 million worth of stadium, half-built, money ran out.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
It's almost like what's it called? It's almost like quite nice, really, because even big clubs do it. It's like your house. You're building your house and you didn't finish the roof of it. So it's I've got a veranda.
Yeah.
Messiah is just a big veranda.
Chelsea as well. Chelsea wanted to build a ground. Prices went up. Didn't happen.
Lol. That was because of Tottenham, though. That was because of Tottenham. I'm up
bought up all the bricks.
Yeah, bought up all the bricks. #Levy. I'm all for Lewandowski and Rafinha and Kessier on free transfer. Imagine Kane and Lewandowski. That would be something. The only party benefited with Rangers going through that whole mess. Celtic, the whole Scottish football suffered in the meantime. It did.
Yeah. Except for the teams in the lower divisions, as Rangers was going through that division.
Yeah.
They probably really enjoyed that.
Yeah, as well as they got the funds from the Rangers fans going to the game. They had
exactly.
We should go to Barcelona and say, you can't register all your players. Let's take them on loan for the season.
Here we go. How's this for an idea then to liven things up? If you win the league, you have to reset your league position back to non-league and start again.
That would be interesting. It'd be like reverse starts in pole or in racing. If you finish pole, you start from the back.
Absolutely. Get your trophy, move on for the next one. If you're any good, you come back again in 4 years' time and do it again.
What, do you get rid of all your players as well and you have to sign a whole new squad?
Yeah, let's do that. No, we can't do that because otherwise they'll just go in bulk to the next team and they'll win the league straight away. The same. I don't know. Maybe something's got to change though, hasn't it? What about we always talk about doing like the Americans do on the American football, having the draft choices and things like that.
I think
it would be so difficult to implement, but it'd be a refreshing idea, wouldn't it?
The system they've got where if teams deliberately finish last so they get the first draft pick, you'd have to have something like that to stop them doing it.
Would it be a bad thing if that happened, though?
Well, it means you can just have Lewandowski next year. You'd have a crap team, but you'd have Lewandowski up front.
So you wouldn't be a crap team
in the 90s. It'd be Tottenham in the 90s. You have Mauricio Taricco at left back, but you've got Klinsmann up front.
Well, no, because I suppose with the established players, they're not part of the draft, are they? It's just the ones coming out of the academies. So
yeah. Well, no, you'd have players that don't have contracts anymore would be drafted.
Yes, it would be way too difficult to implement, though, wouldn't it? Just especially with the different leagues around Europe as well, and timings and everything, it would be impossible.
The draft is such a good thing here. I mean, Americans seem to love it. I don't see how it would work. You need to bring a salary cap first, though.
That's true.
We need a salary cap anyway. It's a joke. Big up, Roy. Welcome, sir. Big up. Hopefully you're well. But
I mean, you look at the price of things now, because, I mean, let's face it, it is the money going into football that drives the salaries up, that drives the price to the fans up as well.
Yes,
I mean, even for myself, I haven't been for years now because it's too expensive. if I travel to London, watch a game, get some food, have a couple of drinks with friends, I'm probably going to have to set aside something like 300, 400 quid for it.
What was the price of that GWR train from Cornwall to London? It was 100 quid, wasn't it? So yeah, you'd probably be right, because you have 50 quid for the game,
More than I would spend.
100 quid for the ticket, depending on the time of the ticket. Food.
It's cheaper to fly.
Well, but where would you fly from? From Dorchester?
What? It is really near.
Nah, you wouldn't fly in from Dorchester, certainly not unless you got your own helicopter pad. You'd have to head to like Southampton or something, and then if you're driving to Southampton, you might as well just drive to London anyway.
Yeah, pick up Phil on the way because he's in Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be an interesting stream. Cooper and Phil's road trip. Get it done.
Yeah, we have talked about this sort of thing before. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway, the point was 100 quid travel, 50 quid the game. What? Say get a bite to eat before and after the game. That because you're going to make a day of it.
Yeah.
I very much doubt I'll be heading back the same evening. So, it's either crash round at somebody's house or get a B&B or something like that. So say it's a B&B. Well, how much are we talking? One night, London, even the cheapest.
About 70 quid maybe. Depends on the place.
All right, cool. It's 70. We're up to 220 before the food and the beer.
Yeah.
That's to go and watch a match and stay over for the night.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's why they've got to bring in the nationalised system in Germany, doesn't it? Where they subsidise the travel.
Yeah.
I mean, they can afford that, the Premier League teams. They should definitely do something like that. I know that sounds very, what's it called of me? Dreaming of me. But if they can do it in Germany, where there's a lot less money in the game, we can do it here. And it's good.
It's part of that. Well, it's a bit too much political stuff, but it's. I always think things like public transport should always remain that public transport shouldn't be privatized. I think things like certain things, banks, electricity, gas, water, travel, education, health, keep them in the public sector. People that want to make their money on private industry, go and do it with all the novelty stuff, all the bringing new things to the market, and then government, if it's any good, integrate it into government, into the government realm, and they get paid for it. There's plenty of money to be made out there for their entrepreneurs, but I don't think you should be making it out of the basics. It should be really affordable for everybody.
Because nationalised rail does need to be looked at, but the problem is Will would have to tell me this because he's an expert on this. Back in 1918, not 1918, early 19th century, there was a man called Dr. Beecham who was in charge of all the railways, and he decided because the railways were nationalised, he closed half the railways, and now you can't go anywhere because of it. So if you had something like that, you would be open to something like that again. I think they need to reopen all the railways he closed. They need to reopen them because I think rail travel is the way of the future because it's run on electricity. It should be instead of driving everywhere, you should get on the train. The train's wonderful. I love the train.
Trams around the cities.
Yeah. London would be very difficult, but I think we have trams in Manchester, which are fantastic. Trams in Milan are brilliant. But you don't need trams in London because we've got the London Underground, which is fantastic.
Yeah, true.
Kauffie, you're making me cry. I would kill to have even a fraction of that stuff here in the States.
I know there's a lot of people feel that way. It makes sense to me. Just give the basics of living day to day made affordable to everybody and accessible by everybody, and then people want to make their money, do it on the novelty stuff. Which will be in demand just as much. So it's all there to be done. It's just priorities, really, isn't it? Shouldn't cost you that much. I mean, people might say, "Oh, well, it's only 250 quid or something." 250 quid to go and watch a football match? Bloody hell! I can just get Netflix and watch a movie or something. How much is that? What, 15 quid for the month of it?
Yeah. It's crazy. I remember when going to the cinema, it was like 13, 14 quid. And that was including popcorn and drinks. And now it's like 40 quid.
Jesus, shows how long since I've been.
I
was thinking 13, 14 quid sounded expensive.
I'm just texting Resonator. Resonator wants how are thingamajigs.
Yeah, Ian Ferguson's saying we live in a sardine can compared to how massive the States is. That's that is for sure. I'll just like to a few years back I flew over to California.
Yeah.
When we reached the East Coast, and I was thinking, well, you'd be getting off in New York about now. That's only half the journey from London over to California. It's literally it's the United States fits into the Atlantic another time before you can reach Britain. It's mad, so big. That was always my ambition ages back. Win enough money to get a Winnebago, head to America, and just spend the next 30 years just going to all the places I ever wanted to see from movies and things. Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, pop up to Canada doing that. Right?
It's one of the things we've always wanted to do. I do one day, as much as everyone really. So I'm going to say, please, Luke, can you not? Oh, there we go. Let's put in the things. Let's try and keep it non-political, Luke, if we can.
Sorry, shouldn't have brought it already. Well, no, it doesn't have to be political.
It doesn't. It's not the government. We've had plenty of governments that are not the particular party, and they still haven't nationalised it.
Yeah,
to put it all on one party, it's not right. But we're not going to talk about politics here.
She'll point the finger collectively rather than just.
It is a collective problem. The problem is all of us. We have allowed big corporations to take over everything because we're lazy for the most part. Why would you go to the mum and pop store down the street when you can get a Deliveroo and it comes straight to your door? We are the problem. We have stopped our own industries. We don't build anything in this country anymore because we get it cheaper from abroad. And now we're complaining that we've got no industry here anymore.
We do make tasty coffee.
We do make tasty coffee though, apparently. Hashtag. Road trip sounds good to me. Yeah. Good afternoon, lads. Big up, Iggy. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. If you want to come on, I can send you the link if you're not busy. Would love a massive road trip out west. So that is the rules for everyone to see. Please don't talk politics. We are not well
in talking politics.
No, we don't.
Why are you just talking about how I've got no?
We don't have any industry left.
In response to Ian Ferguson, he said just doing the tour out west, Wild West.
Wonderful
area. One thing I did when I got to LA, hired out a Harley Davidson for the week, and I must admit, I was looking at my bank balance and thinking, how long can I stay out here just doing this?
Yeah,
because I would have been happy just doing that for the rest of my life, just cruise up and down the coastline there. It was tremendous fun. But,
I have a ton of family and friends out in Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, California. That would be an epic trip. Yeah. The best trip we ever did is the Kaufmans, as we did the Pacific Coast Highway from Camino in just north of Sacramento all the way down to Los Angeles. That was an 8-hour drive, something like that.
A long way.
It was a long way.
It was the Pacific Coast Highway. Yeah.
Always think if you're going to do the West Coast, stop over for a day in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, which is
and
what
just
we did.
Enjoy just how bloody lovely it is there.
It is incredibly lovely there. The favourite thing we did there was we went to the beach of Santa Barbara. You sat down and then suddenly someone cranked their jukebox and the Beach Boys came on and everything was right in the world. You were sitting on a California beach with the Beach Boys playing. Bloody lovely. Does Route 66 still exist? Yes, it does. It's somewhere where I would quite like to be. Still no internet in my new house. Currently waiting for both internet and cable guy to arrive and get it all up and right. Big up, Iggy. Big up.
Route 66 is overrated.
Is it? You heard it here first. But yeah,
no internet. I don't know how I'd cope.
Um,
The other day we had the power cut lasted about 5 hours. So me and the kids, we're all playing card games. So I've been teaching them all the different ways to cheat while you're playing, and the different games they're doing. As soon as I learnt the rules on anything, I'll just take them to the extreme, and we'd be such a hyper competitive little card game between the three of us. It was ridiculous. So I got to the point where my oldest lad's telling me he hates me, and I thought, "Yep, job done. That's how you learn." So I wouldn't let them win, but he caught on quick, and then he started applying some of the cheating techniques I was showing him, and it was working. So I was very proud of him. Whatever it takes to win, that's what I say.
That's what you did in that game of Quick Uno when we went to France. Will is like one of the best. He was able to cheat. We were with our some friends of ours in business, and it was the father is a very intelligent man, his son and his daughter, and they all play in this game of Quick Uno where you play Uno quickly and blah blah blah. And I told was it Quick Monopoly? Oh, same bloody thing really. And I said to Will, "Don't." Will is brilliant at cheating, and Will, and I told them he's a cheater, and he still cheated right in front of them without them knowing he cheated. And it's like, how the hell did you win? So that's like, oh, I cheated.
I was sitting on all the cards.
I love it. Simple things like laying down 6 cards when they only think you're putting 1 down, that sort of thing.
Or if you've got a card you want to hold on to, just accidentally
drop it
put it on the floor. Accidentally sit on it.
Card games, board games, actually been all right without it.
All that education, £250,000 worth of education between the two of them, and they couldn't even win a poxy card game against a state school boy.
State school, private schools don't teach you how to cheat though, because they are the cheaters.
They just automatically get ahead.
Yeah, bastards. My kids, however, moved in with my bro's family. So, is it all quiet on the Western Front, Peggy? Good man, Cooper. Get kids ready to take advantage of casinos to bring in you some extra money. I mean, those
casinos for mugs is always in favour of the house.
Yeah. You should only go to the casino once a year, because then you get beginner's luck, because they recognise people that have been in there more than a couple of times because they've got facial recognition. But if you go there once a year, your record is not on there, so they give you beginner's luck. You make money and you just leave.
Well, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you not know that beginner's luck is an actual thing? If you're new, they will purposely give you better odds.
I don't think that's possible on roulette table.
It's on like card games. It is.
How?
It just is. They're all cheap.
I don't see how they could do that on certain games.
So you couldn't do it on roulette unless the ball's got a magnet in it.
Well, that's just it, has it?
Well,
the casino always wins because they get you addicted to it and then they take the money off you. Whereas if you go in there, they give you good luck to get the juices flowing, as it were.
I know 17 Black never worked for the Duchess of Royston.
I suppose if they're really clever on the roulette, it wouldn't be the ball that's magnetic. It will be each of the slots. Yeah. It's electromagnetic, and they just turn it on when they want it to be in that one.
Yeah, well, that is what they did in Thunderbirds. That's what happens to the Duchess of Royston.
That's a Thunderbirds reference for you. My first casino trip, I bought 20 and I won 207 years ago. There you go.
Oh, Dodge A108 window van.
You don't need that.
That's what you need. Sell your.
I've never been to a casino, but Hollywood Phil and I, we always talked about that. If either of us win the lottery, we'll get our families sorted out financially first. And then we head into Vegas to watch Penn and Teller, hit the casino, and then do other things that you can't talk about on stream really at this time of day.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
But it does end up with a high-speed shootout with the police, and they're all in a fireball.
Hollywood Phil and Cuba go to Vegas. That's a film in itself. Been a hole since. I only go in a blue room, lose 200 at a time. Unless you're a moondog that puts money on Eric Dyer to score first every game. Never chase your losses, folks.
Yeah, I agree.
100% clear. I want my student loans paid off first. Just turn 40, they wipe them off. At least that's the way in this country. You don't need any more cars, Will.
Oh, look at that, though.
Well, you can't show the stream because
How much do you not want? I think it's Galaxy 500.
yes, you don't need one.
£14,000. You know that or a smart car?
What would you say, Coupe, a smart car or a Galaxy 500?
Coupe with a 460 big one.
Can't make up my mind. I just can't. Whenever any sort of transport's brought to mind, I just think of Mad Max and nothing else compares.
Yeah,
That is a Mad Max car.
it is, isn't it? The Galaxy?
No, he had a.
No, it's not.
I
It's
don't know what Mad Max.
too bad. I only have a couple of years left of payments. Great stuff, Ian. Pay off those student loans.
Thank you very much, Pete.
Thank you very much, Pete.
Wow. The Opus. That's how you should get Paul Coit on.
What? We should bring Paul
You
Coit.
should tell Paul
Do you
Coit.
remember the Opus, Cooper? You weren't there during the early 2000s. But who in the chat remembers the Tottenham Hotspur Opus?
It's a fantastic piece of work.
It was a picture book that Tottenham sold for a few years, and it was like 25 grand. And every half time they'd bring out Paul Coit to talk about the Opus.
That weighed in at 37 kilos, 850 pages long,
And they were all pictures.
100,000 words and 2,000 images.
First time I went to a casino, I was 21 in Brighton.
It was personally signed by Tottenham Hotspur legends, including One Day Ramos, Robbie Keane, Martin Yole, and Bedford.
One day Ramos actually signed the Opus.
How much is?
No, I didn't remember it, by the way, but I just looked up what it was. I thought, yeah. 'Cause it's a bulky bit of kit, that, isn't it?
25 grand for a book.
£8,000.
Is that how much it is now?
It's still available on the Spurs shop.
You can buy for £8,000. You can buy a Tottenham Hotspur Opus.
I would rather eat them.
Yep.
£1 coin at a time.
You could have 2 White Falcons for that.
Who was going to win it?
Anyone in the chat bought a Tottenham Hotspur Opus? If you have one.
What's wrong with you?
That kind of price, I'm surprised Daniel Levy isn't onto that straight away.
Well, that's what he's charging for it.
Oh, so they are still selling it then?
They're still selling them for £8,000.
They only made 124 of them, and they're still trying to sell them. Incredible.
I assume that was a sort of eBay price.
No.
Oh, our chairman's he's great, isn't he? No, I mean, who thought that was a good idea in Levy's board? You know what? We're going to make 124 of these books. They're going to cost
It's
£8
probably a spillover from the sugar era, isn't it? Because
yeah,
he had some mad ideas for business.
What? So 1, 2, 4. So they actually sold quite a lot of them.
people bought them.
God.
Well, Tottenham fan base are a bunch of idiots.
Well, actually, sorry. So it's us. The money in it was donated to the Tottenham Hotspur Foundation, so it's a taxable.
Breaking news. Villarreal has Lo Celso in Spain for a medical. Ooh.
I'll drive it.
He was always the easiest one to shift, I think.
Yeah, he was. I mean, if we can get rid of Ndombele to Villarreal as well, where are we going for a piss-up?
Valencia.
We're going for Valencia for a piss-up. Okay?
Don Simone Sangria.
Yeah.
I can still make
Lo Celso is gone. Get in. 3 more to go. Saying Lo Celso's loan with an option. There must be that option must be very easy to trigger, otherwise that's not going to happen. They want him gone.
Can't they get rid of Brian Gill as well?
Yeah, he's going next apparently to Valencia. He's going to work with Gattuso.
So the person that signed him should just be sacked.
What, Paratici?
Yeah, just sack him.
Yeah, but then he also signed Romero.
Yeah.
How are you on the stance of selling them for any kind of money? Because I just think we've got to accept we've already wasted our money.
Yeah.
It's business. They can put it down as a loss and offset it against their company tax. It actually doesn't lose them anything.
Yeah. Just take literally anything.
Take anything. Just hemorrhage.
I agree.
It's a great. Oh, Pontiac Firebird.
Got to go to McDonald's when Tonga Bay takes for availability for food. Yeah.
Again, they could just sack the bastard.
In a real business, you would just sack him.
Just sack him. They can't possibly have a contract in place where there's no performance requirements. It's just absolute hogwash.
Apparently 17 to 20 million pounds. Great stuff. I mean, hello, Mr. Brody. Big up, sir. Big up. Hope you're well. Agreed. Just take anything at this point. Yeah. Problem is, Spain are bankrupt. Even Real Betis can't register more than 6 new players. Why is that, though? Is that because of the new La Liga rules that they want to, or are just clubs just on their arses, which is why they brought the rules in? It makes no sense to me.
No, but why can't they have? Here's a question for you. Why can't?
Well, we've got maximum squad sizes, haven't we? So
I've got a question for you for your chat.
Yes.
Which is a stupid question.
Yeah.
Are you ready for it?
All the questions in this stream are stupid.
So, in Spain, you have Real Madrid A and Real Madrid B.
Yeah.
Why can't you have teams that are across 2 different leagues? Why can't you have Tottenham in the Costa del Sol? So you'd have David Bentley. So you'd have the Spanish Tottenham. So Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And it would play in the La Liga. So you could spread your players amongst different leagues.
That'd be a stupid idea.
Why? Because it's apart from the fact that you might end up with Tottenham playing Tottenham.
Well, you would end up with Tottenham playing Tottenham. That would be a stupid idea. Will, so that's the stupid comment of the day made up by a Kaufman. Here we go.
No, I think that's a good idea.
I remember a couple of years ago, leagues lost TV rights. I don't know, spell and fade into that. Also, I know France said that is the best name ever. Tottenham Hotspur. I wonder that.
El Gallo del. Oh, what's it going to be?
Other people think that's a good idea.
Well, what they should do is they should do exchange students. So one year Tottenham playing La Liga.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
1 year.
Google translate El Gallo del Pelea, the fighting cockerel in Spanish.
Oh, Tottenham is a paella.
Pelea.
I mean, Bayern Munich's second team plays in Bundesliga too. They do. That exchange student plan.
No, exactly. No, they play in the Bundesliga too. But why can't you have them playing it?
Tottenham, Caliente, Spurs.
Tottenham. Tottenham, come on. That's actually a good name for a stream.
It's better than some of
You should copyright
that. Caveman, better copyright that because someone's going to nick it. Exchange student plan.
We could fit it in with the Brexit theme as well. We could have like deportation La Coruna.
Deportation La Rwanda.
What is it? We're not going political here.
I think that's a really good idea because then you could have as big a squad.
What will happen if Bayern Munich's team wins promotion? They don't go up. So they can't play each other. It's the same thing if Barcelona win. If Barcelona B win Liga B, they don't go up. Deportation La Coruña. Yeah. Exchange student leagues. 1 year Tottenham playing the Costa del Sol. 1 year Real Madrid playing, I don't know, Iceland.
Iceland. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, if you did that, then PSG might end up in the Premier League, and then we get to find out if Messi can do it on a cold rainy night in Stoke.
If a professional sports team goes over to Iceland, the population doubles.
But also, that would be the same thing with Norway, wouldn't it? Real Madrid played in the Norwegian league.
I think Norway's got a significantly bigger population than Iceland, though.
But what's funny is that Iceland is like everyone knows each other. Googling what chicken is in German.
For a kid.
Yeah. But yeah, exchange student leagues, Cuba. We need to put this through.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm
I
all
think it-
for 1 year Tottenham Hotspur playing in the Albanian league.
And just don't bring half the players home.
No, you just need to leave 4.
hang on, German. Der Kampfenderhahn. That'll be the fighting cockerel in German.
Bloody hell.
So actually, you can't send Tottenham to Germany.
No, you don't. That's not allowed.
Yeah, they said that they'll send them off to somewhere else.
Calm down.
What?
Bloody hell. This is now becoming a thing about Germans.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good idea. Honestly, when the Tottenham goes to Japan, you have the
Tottenham playing the Japanese league. I'm all for it. What's Tottenham in Japanese? I think a B team that makes it in top division should become their own team. Let's say Sociedad B gets promoted, they can become San Sebastian FC. Yeah, we could do that.
Huh?
Big up Albania. Big up Albania.
What was the name of the radio that came? It was Mustafa, wasn't it? That came from Albania.
Yeah, it was. It was the all the way from Albania on the. Do you remember that, Cuba? The radio in the Jolly Boys outing, all the way from Albania.
Oh, yeah.
These are Chinese.
Big up Albania, says Chris.
What was it? It was the Mustafa.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, bloody
Was
hell.
it Mustafa 8080 or something?
Something like that. Mustafa Radio.
Radio.
This stream has gone well off the chain this time. This is when you bring in Bob to come up with some.
Yeah, it was the Mustafa F80.
Yeah, it was the Mustafa.
F80 radio cassette player.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
How did I know that?
It's because you've watched the Jolly Boys outing too much, obviously. Here's it for the chat. Favourite episode of Only Fools and Horses? Oh,
I like the one where his granddad's
That's almost impossible.
did you see Georgie Stanway signed for Bayern Munich, and her song in the actual when she was Sweet Caroline, really rubbing it in? You know what? That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. For me, the best episode is the episode with Gary.
What?
Gary.
Only you would like that.
That's brilliant. Gary?
That's just someone that's not watching up Only Fools and Horses.
We got the one where he falls down the hole. That's brilliant.
I like the one where
Favourite episode, Cuba? Everyone in the chat, you've got to bring your favourite Only
It's
Fools and Horses.
just far too difficult. It's just too many classic moments over too many episodes.
no, the one where he plays 4 bloody aces.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a bick.
No, that's
It's a bick.
no.
Jolly Boys out
Where
in
did
the
you
one
get
where,
them aces?
or the one where Robbie won that art competition but didn't tell him he was 15. The Groovy Gang. The Groovy
Well,
Gang
that
was
the Groovy Gang.
Was it? Yeah, the Groovy Gang. That was brilliant.
Where was the holiday to? That's the best.
Only Russell would know that.
Chris Gomba giving me a useful bit of information about Albanian.
Yep, I will not bring it up on stream because I might get done.
But I could bring up an yeah.
Oh yeah. So all you need to do is press the letter A. And there you go. Where is it? Where's Nightbot? Where is Nightbot? Where is Nightbot?
It's not going for it at all.
No, Nightbot's not here today.
What?
There we go. Oh yeah. Big up. Big up.
What's Nightbot?
Nightbot is a bot that controls the stream. Yeah. Nightbot is actually in command. Other than Only Fools and Horses, favourite British comedy, Cuba?
One Foot in the Grave.
Red Dwarf for me.
Mm.
Never seen it.
Absolutely love Red Dwarf.
Need to go through that again. It's on Netflix, isn't it, Red Dwarf, I believe?
Yeah, a lot of it. I don't know if they got every series or not, but most of it's there. I really like the early ones of Red Dwarf, though, when it's just mostly just talking. There's none of the special effects and stuff. You got Lister and Rimmer just doing their job, their lowly jobs going through the decks. It's really funny.
Hello is mine. Hello is brilliant. Blackadder, the fourth season is brilliant.
Ooh. I love all of the Blackadders. Blackadder the second for me, though. Queenie is just so amazing.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I think of Blackadder. I think Blackadder 1 is a bit cringy. But again,
Blackadder 1.
it's a bit cringy for my liking.
There's good bits in it, but I think some of the others are definitely more classic.
I think it's got to be Dad's Army for me. I think Dad's Army is so underrated as a comedy.
40 Towers is right up there.
40 Towers as well.
1 Foot.
1 Foot in the Grave is brilliant.
Oh, for me, it's some of the real old classics that were even before my time, but I still like them. Michael Benting's Potty Time. We'd have the invisible army on the sand tray, and he'd just tap the underneath the sand tray and make a story out of it.
Yeah.
So they're marching towards that. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. The whole of Monty Python, just all of their stuff. I just love it. It's just so way out there.
They could never do that now, can they? The thick of it's closer. Peter Capaldi just yelling at folks in a Scottish accent. Life goals. Steptoe Son and Open All Hours is brilliant shows. Half these shows couldn't even be made now, which is a real shame.
Oh, big fan of Family Guy as well.
Family Guy it's tailed off though. Family Guy is because it's no longer written by Seth MacFarlane. It doesn't have It doesn't have that edge to it anymore.
Doesn't have the dodginess to it.
Yeah. Don't mention the war. Pass in your general direction. Some mothers do have them. Yes, Minister is very good.
Oh yeah, good shape. No, not allowed political stuff.
Yeah.
Which was better, Yes Minister or Yes Prime Minister? I think it got better when it became Yes Prime Minister.
Yeah, it did. It became a lot more.
You actually watched it?
I've watched it, yeah. Not all fully, but I've seen it.
Yeah, but I think
Which reminds me, Rick Mayall's The New Statesman. That was brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, Father Ted, you can't forget Father Ted. Father Ted's
Absolutely.
brilliant.
Oh, Mrs. Brown's Boys as well.
Mrs. Brown's Boys. I'm a massive fan of Citizen Khan, but not a lot of people like it. I think that TV program is so out there.
Bottom. Yeah. In fact, anything with Rick Mayall in it. Almost.
English people like Austin Powers. As an American, I love it. I loved Austin Powers. I think it's brilliant.
Bottom. Bottom.
Not seen that. Austin Powers is brilliant. Austin Powers #3 was brilliant. I'm from Holland, isn't that weird? I remember when I said that to your wife the first time, and she stared at me like I was talking alien.
We still do.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you're more alien than me. So, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost is great. Nick Frost is brilliant.
Although movies rather than series, I suppose.
Yeah.
Police Squad, then you could go for that.
The third one was shite. What are you talking about, Ian? It was brilliant. Twins, Basil. Twins.
What?
It's brilliant.
I used to love The Goodies as well when that was on, but that's going back quite some time now. I don't think that will have aged very well.
No.
But some iconic moments on that, like a little kitten attacking the post office tower.
There are so many brilliant comedies. We was Molly. Yeah, that was brilliant. The Brightest Empire. I've never seen this one actually.
British Empire.
Yeah. That's how much I haven't seen it.
No, I didn't like it. Although it's got Chris Barry, Rimmer from Red Dwarf in it, I didn't like it. It was just so contrived. A lot of the stuff I didn't like. We had this conversation about Thin Blue Line as well, didn't we, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I love that show.
I really don't get on with it. I don't find it funny. Although I love Rowan Atkinson.
I don't like his latest show though. Man vs. Bee I think it's borderline awful. It's so cringy.
Not seeing it.
It's really fun. You can watch it on Netflix. I wouldn't watch it because it's just The Good Life. But if you're going at the Friends is still aged so well. I think it's brilliant.
I don't even really look at that as a comedy though. It's
Just
more sort of one of those sort of bit sickly, verging on disgustingly sickly, feel-good type programs, isn't it?
Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders isn't a comedy though, except when Alfie Solomons is there. Then it's a full comedy.
Yeah, that's
Love
true.
it. On the Bus was always a good watch.
I like Peaky Blenders.
No, you don't. We don't like Peaky Blenders. We do like them, but we don't like them.
Even some of the horrifically cheesy stuff, like those Noel Edmonds Saturday night programs. Was one with Crinkly Bottom and stuff on it. Noel's House Party. There was so much genuinely laugh out loud moments on that.
Mr. Blobby. They used to bring back Mr.
Otherwise,
Blobby.
he's around. He's Boris Johnson.
Can you stop bringing it into politics? You bloody well did. You can't talk politics either as an actual politician. So shut up. Afternoon, Mr. Graham. Big up, Graham. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Isn't it funny, Ben? I can tell you got family in the house because you're using phrases like "shut up."
Yeah. Well, you should see what he says to me. Are you being served? Huh? Oh, yeah. But big up, Scott. Good to see you again. Big up, Scott.
How are you going to get Paul Coyte on the show now?
We need to bring Paul Coyte on the show.
He lives around here.
I don't know where Paul Coyte lives. I think Graham would know where Paul Coyte lives.
Thank you very much, Pete.
You
should get them both on here. Paul Coyte and Pete.
Paul Coyte and Paul Stewart.
Yeah.
Just bring everyone called Paul on.
Yeah, what? Who's Pete Stewart?
Paul Stewart. You don't know who Paul Stewart is?
No.
Get out.
Stadium announcer.
That's Pete.
Yeah.
I don't know what his surname is.
One with the slick back hair.
Show some respect to your. He doesn't know who Paul Stewart is, Carl. He can get out.
Hang on. Paul,
Yeah.
Paul Stewart scored the equalising goal in the 1991 FA Cup final against Tottenham and Nottingham Forest.
Grab the broom, Ben. Set about them. Get them out of there.
Get out.
What does he look like?
Big up, Paul Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Lando Norris.
Paul Stewart is Lando Norris's dad confirmed.
Looks like Lando Norris. What do you think he looks like Lando Norris?
Bringing up Lando Norris versus Paul Stewart.
Talking of comedies that won't ever get repeated again, you got all the sort of Alf Garnett stuff as well. There's no way that's ever getting shown again. But back in the day, it was hilarious. It was part of the show was out and out racism, and it was.
But it was we've talked about this with Graham. It made fun of people of that inclination. It wasn't. Yeah. It was like saying, "Look how stupid these people are."
Yeah. I think Alf Warren Mitchell himself. He said one day he'd met a fan who was going, "Oh yeah, I love it when you're talking you like that to that black bloke on the show and stuff like that. It's hilarious." And he's just saying, "Don't you understand? It's people like you we're making fun of." It's like, yeah, just showed it always the mentality that goes beyond racism, really, isn't it? It's not clever.
Yeah, there's some great shows like that. Alf Garnett was brilliant. It just popped out of my head. No, it's gone. But yeah,
Love My Neighbour. That's one I was thinking of as well. Yeah,
Love My Neighbour. But there needs to be a bit more of these sort of tongue-in-cheek comedies, because there aren't any anymore. All the comedies are almost like very not Americanized, but
sterile.
They're sterile.
Sterilized, isn't it? Safe.
It's safe, and it hit you know when to laugh because they've hit you so hard with it. Instead of like this like nuanced comedy, like a Captain Mainwaring when his glasses fall off.
Hmm.
The moment when if you remember the thing when that visitor came to Warmington-on-Sea to get the Key of the City award, and he found Sergeant, what's the sergeant's name? Sergeant Wilson in the thing, and he said, brought him because he was supposed to bring the motorbike. He said, oh, he should be your, and that was when he was made the Honourable Arthur Wilson as well. So it was like, it was the guy trying to be the man of the people in Captain Mainwaring, but he was a total authoritarian. Comedy has to walk on eggshells in fear of it. Has to. You've got to know where.
Or you just blatantly ignore it, and then we do get big up Jimmy Carr. For me, two of my absolute favourites at the moment. It's got to be Frankie Boyle and Anthony Jeselnik. But Anthony Jeselnik goes out of his way to be as offensive as possible, and it's hilarious.
In the context of the show. It's in context.
Yeah. So cancel culture, and then we're getting back onto politics again. Then, unfortunately, isn't it?
Cancel culture tried to cancel Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica. No, do you think that? Did they actually think they were going to cancel Metallica when there's a lot worse out there?
One of the huge YouTubers as well who does gives a hell of a lot of his money to charity.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast. That's it, Mr. Beast, and the whole vegan teacher or whatever trying to get him cancelled all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous. I'm just glad he was able to just sail past it like nothing happened. It didn't matter. She could say whatever she likes. It's absolutely bulletproof to the likes of her.
Mind your language. I love Bill Burr. Yes. A lot of Stranger Things fans, because Metallica made Stranger Things, because Metallica are up here, and Stranger Things is about in this nice space here. It's popular, but it's not Metallica popular. And Metallica brought Stranger Things into the public eye. And now because a lot of Stranger Things fans think, oh, this is my thing, no one else can have it, they're trying to cancel the thing that made it popular. But it's ridiculous. If it's good, people will watch it. I've never watched Stranger Things. I don't plan to. It's not my sort of thing. I don't really like that psychedelic style TV show. It's not my thing. But it's ridiculous. Cancel culture should be cancelled.
I think Stephen Fry probably did the most sensible thing I've heard on all of this subject.
Right.
So nobody's taking away people's right to be offended. Just doesn't mean you've got to do anything about it.
Yeah. Adam's saying Auf Wiedersehen, pet.
Yeah, that's certainly had its moments as well.
I get told should be cancelled regularly. I'm not. I get told I should be cancelled regularly. I mean, I don't know how.
Luckily, I'm squeaky clean on all these things. Saturday nights, it's more like a prayer meeting.
Yeah, it is. That show In the Wall, 10:45, the most sterile show on the planet. Nothing offensive happens on In the Wall on my watch.
That's right. Custodians of virtue.
Custodians of wholesome, we are. We talk about knitting, smiley faces, Mars milkshakes, because I like a Mars milkshake. Yeah. And speaking of which, you can still donate to Bob's charity thing, which is at Bob's Bear NHS, it's Bob Surf TV NHS. They've got 3 days left. It's 3 days left. They've almost hit the £3,000 mark. I don't know where they are close to that or not, but it all goes to a good cause as the NHS, and an anonymous donor is going to double it at the end of the time. So big up to them, big up to everyone that's done it. And yeah, donate away if you can. So big up, Bob. In the Wall, we talk about flowers and act out of kindness. Absolutely. And we don't talk about parts of Spain.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Only talk about wholesome things. There's
wholesome content. It's wonderful.
I think so. As always say at the time, the only real winner is football at the end of the evening.
Yeah.
If football gets mentioned.
We need to bring. Wish we did Best of Footballer on this show. Guess the Footballer has been brilliant. That's one of the best shows ever.
Guess the Kauffie? That's not going to work, is it?
Guess the Kauffie.
Which bean got flicked?
Oh God!
And one of them, you could have Mr. Bean, Sean Bean.
Yeah.
It's all happening now.
Bean spelt like Sean, and Sean spelt like Bean.
Human
Bastard.
being.
Yeah. Needs to do a show on that and talk about 8 out of 10 Cats Countdown, because we're both big fans of that show. I think us three with Phil are like the biggest fans of that show. Who would you get to be Mrs. Bean?
Oh, mother.
Yeah, our mother is going to be Mrs. Bean.
It's hard to resist the urge to get into a bit of Rachel Riley, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Sometimes football wins because it isn't mentioned. Baked bean. Yeah. This is what I like about In the Wall. It's just great to wind down and have a laugh, and safe in the knowledge you are not offending anyone, except for those pussy trolls, apparently.
Shouldn't say that.
I wish I had the video. It's okay. We're only talking about cats.
Indeed.
Or 1990s dance band. Oh, no, they were 2000s, weren't they? Pussycat Dolls. 2000s.
Who?
Pussycat Dolls.
Are they still going, or?
Yeah. I mean, what's her name? It still is. I think she's on American Idol. I can never say her name, and I don't want to, just in case I offend someone. So we're gonna go. All we know is her name is Nicole. A certain West Ham player was very offended about it.
Oh, right. Okay, I know the one now.
What's the name, Pussycat? What? Followed by, yeah. Big up. What's the plan for the weekend?
Did they do a track called Push the Button or something like that?
No, that was the Sugar Babes.
Ah, never mind. Because that's a little bit like Flick the Bean, isn't it?
Pussycat. Don't need the thing. The Pussycat Dolls did Don't Ya?
Oh, Sean Bean, I would have died then.
Ah, right, okay.
Always nice. What is your favourite episode of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown?
So your favourite episode of Sharp.
It's got to be Carrot in a Box.
So Carrot in a Box is brilliant. I think it's got to be one of the Sean Bean ones for me, because I just think he's so brilliant. When he made
one, really?
Yeah, I like Sean Bean. When he makes John Richardson sit on his lap and he gives him raspberries. It's so ridiculous. Or the poem by Joe Wilkinson.
Yeah, that was something else.
Sean
almost all of Sean Locke. Yeah, there we go. Carl Simpson.
Oh, the time when
Sean Locke's coming up with the novelty show. Well, I don't know. No, I shouldn't really bring that one up on this show, should we?
No.
But you know the one. It was so ridiculous. It's just the way Jimmy Carr goes. Moving on now.
That's the end of Sean Locke's career. I watched GoldenEye over the weekend. It occurred to me that Sean Bean has not changed in almost 30 years. No, he hasn't. My favourite one is where John Richardson's team beat Sean Locke. Isn't that everyone? That's a brilliant one. Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, and also that incredibly offensive bit about when Jimmy Carr's asking what Susie Dent has been looking into
Oh
lately,
God.
which we won't mention here either.
It's all of them. Or the one when Rachel Riley's wearing her skiing outfit.
That's right.
Yeah. I like the Alan Carr. The Alan Carr ones were brilliant. When he made that thing out of rubbish, that was pretty funny.
What I like about Alan Carr is no matter how much you offend him, if it's genuinely funny, he just bursts out into laughter anyway.
Because that's the thing, he takes a joke,
Yeah, it does.
throws it in context of a show, but then he'll give it back as well. He'll say something equally offensive.
He'll get angry, scowl, burst into laughter, and then have to think of something. I like it though. It's the correct way.
The funniest prop he put on was when he had his wine in a vest and it burst. So it just
That's right.
This one is wine, this one is gin.
Oh, and Sean Locke with his big dustbin full of stuff with a tap on the bottom, so he could build up his immunity to diseases by just having a little schooner full of bin juice
every morning. Big up, Eugene. Big up. That's a brilliant show. I think that show later down the line is going to be shown for how good it is. It's so brilliant. I think very underrated for what it is.
Oh, and Joe Wilkinson dressed up as the magician, being Rachel O'Reilly's assistant at one time, and he's just brought lager and stuff like that. And she said, "Do you want to do any of the letters?" And he goes, "No, I'm just here to sex things up, to be honest."
Oh, when Fabio had the Bannister Company.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That man needs to do more TV shows. He's so funny, effortlessly. I'm shit at the maths, but on the words, I'm terrible at the maths. I'm terrible at them. But that was the only thing. Get the conundrum almost every time, mostly because it's going to be a terrible word.
I'm really good on both of those. I should probably go on the actual program, but
yeah. Cuba to countdown confirmed. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano is going to tweet it.
I'd love to be with the first contestant that goes over from normal countdown to 8 out of 10 Cats does countdown.
Didn't that person actually already go on there? The woman with the highest wins on countdown went on it, and they were like,
probably did.
Was. They wondered who she was. That was brilliant.
Oh, that's right. Sean Locke brought on one of the ringers as well, didn't he? Said it was his nephew.
Yeah, he brought him on, and it's like he got everyone right. Still lost to John Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good stuff, that show.
It is. Busy there today, then?
No, absolutely dead. It's so hot here. We had a lady from Austria come by.
She was just here to invite.
Yeah, she was. But she was funny. They couldn't believe that she couldn't find the place because it's so difficult to find the shop. But there's no one wants coffee in this weather. Really, we should finish early.
You should get the signs out for the iced coffees or something.
Or we should just not work at all because it's just so hot in here. We've fixed it with a tarpaulin, but I think even that's going to blow up. But Sean Locke's describing his natural essence, hot tarmac and a vet's flannel. Brilliant stuff.
On the litter tray challenge. Did you mention that one already? Yeah.
Or when he brought them, who was it that brought them a dirty knife and fork tray out? Or not dirty, unorganized, and they gave it to. Is like, nope, I'm fixing this.
Good stuff, though.
Yeah. Oi, oi, big up, Danny. Big up, sir. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I don't know what time you're turning up. Probably about 9 o'clock in the evening. But let us know when you're coming, Danny. Oh, I'll have to answer that text later. I hope Danny's all right. Because there's nothing else to talk about, unless, what do you have anything to talk about this weekend, Kiva, about the football before we end off the show?
No, not really. It's just getting on with it. I'm just so looking forward to it for a change. Usually it's one of those fixtures you dread, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're thinking we'd do well to get a point out of that, but I've just got this feeling we can nick it this time. There's something happening here. This Conte effect, we said there was the Conte effect last season, but this season, I'm really feeling it. I'm just getting this vibe like we are winning something. Why not aim big? Why not look at the league title? I don't see why not. People, I get fed up of people saying, "Oh, we can't do it. We can't do it this season." Why? Just because it's difficult? No. You do it. You cause an upset by doing the unexpected. So let's do it this season.
Yeah.
All on.
If we sign 3 players, we're in for a shout. If we sign those 3 players that we need, it's like we can't get Milinkovic anymore because he's just signed a 6-year contract, which is a massive shame.
It is.
It's a massive shame. But we can still get Skriniar.
But perhaps with Milinkovic, they're doing that so it's an aim to sell him next summer, but make sure they get a really good bit of money. Yeah.
We should have signed him. We should really sign that guy. I think he's absolutely brilliant. 6'5", great in the air.
Yeah, definitely. That certainly add to the squad, and it's something we don't have at the moment.
Yeah, a defender that can actually head a ball.
Other than that, I mean, the only other thing to look for this weekend will be Man United for me.
They're going to lose.
Was it who they got? Brentford, is it?
Brentford.
Wouldn't fancy that in that state.
They've signed Brentford's best player and they're still going to lose to them.
I mean, Tony up front for Brentford. I mean, I would have taken him at Spurs any day.
Yeah, I'd still take him at the top.
Yeah, you would. Could even play him in defence when we need to. Well, it's not a bad shout, actually. You know, defending from corners, if you've got him in your box, it's an extra string to the bow, isn't it? But Man United look in so much trouble, don't they? I think Brentford aren't going to... They don't show any sign they're going to really struggle without Eriksen either.
And they signed They signed Damsgaard.
That's right.
He's going to be a brilliant replacement because he's more athletic than Eriksen. He can get about the pitch more. And it's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
And he can still flourish with that team. I think that's a brilliant signing for them.
So they're one of those teams a little bit like Brighton. You don't look at individual stars. You just look at their overall, the way they gel together, and it works.
Cheers, mate. Special delivery. Brilliant. Oat milk.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so Brentford, I can see them turning United over again.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the stopwatch on at the moment for who keeps their job manager-wise?
10 games. Actually, no, it's 9 games. It's 9 games.
Or is it 2 games?
I think he's going to get the sack. I think he's completely out of his depth. It's not even his fault. It's the owners of the club that are the problem. They are...
As pointed out, though, he's terrible with the press. You're always off to a losing start when you can't get on with the press.
Especially with Man United, a club that's known for having bad press against them.
Yeah. Be an interesting one. Otherwise, the other funny one will be when the wheels start coming off on Arteta's little plan again, as they will. People realise...
Apparently, it's really funny. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've already heard it's ridiculous. Even Arsenal fans are saying it's ridiculous. It's
total. Apparently, it's they've done the same thing they did with our one with Mourinho. It's totally Arteta propaganda almost.
Yeah, I bet they don't show the game at White Hart Lane, do they?
I bet they don't. Big up, Bobby K. Big up. Ralph Hasenhüttl could go quickly. Yeah, he could do. Apparently, Hasenhüttl was blaming the players for having bad press conferences, out in poor player performances, and a lack of care for himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like he's on the way out, doesn't he?
The problem, he's actually a good manager. He always gets the best out of them in the second half of the season. But
Yeah.
they always start poorly, and you can't start.
Well, this time I just don't see where their cutting edge is at all.
No. People have figured them out, and they've lost Breuer. They lost a lot of their good players. James Ward-Prowse, go get him now. He's too expensive. 75 million quid for James Ward-Prowse is stupid money.
I just don't think we need him.
No.
We've got Basuma's passing is much underrated. We've got Bentancur who can rain the passes out from deep. That's basically what Ward-Prowse would be doing. I don't think we need him.
We need Maddison, who's in the final third, doing that. That's what we need.
Or somebody like that. Yeah. It's somebody at that end of the pitch making. Yeah. Maybe. It could be a wide player. It could be somebody through the middle. But since we don't play with a natural 10, it's just somebody a little bit flexible. Just a bloody good player.
Yeah.
A bloody good attacking
Someone that can play in any position and will just make that position theirs, even if it's not their actual position.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard that there was no mention of Arsenal bottling the North London derby with one person having. It's a shame. They really should mention that. I just want him because my cousin is a diehard Southampton fan, and I want us to be in the reason they get relegated.
Imagine that entire Netflix series was reshot, but you've got Lee Gunner as the director.
It'd be brilliant. It'd just be.
That'd be some viewing, wouldn't it?
The Muppet Show with Lee Gunner. I still think that's the best YouTube show at the moment. Just him going through Arsenal Twitter and just laughing at them all. It's so brilliant.
It's just good content. It is. I mean, yep. People complain about our more outspoken fans on YouTube, but I'm all for it. Why settle for being second best?
Yeah,
we shouldn't be at all. So don't tolerate it. So big up to Scott M as well, because he doesn't settle anything for anything unless
Sava doesn't either. Sava doesn't accept mediocrity. He wants to win. I want to win. We need to start thinking that we can, if we're ambitious as a fan base, we can win stuff. I think that's part of the reason why we bottle stuff, because the energy. We got to start producing that sort of not arrogant energy, but we've got to, if you think it in the universe, it will happen.
Yeah, well, like I always say, you're never going to win anything if you're told fourth is good enough.
Yeah. Third loser. Lee Gunner would not have shined away from it at all. Yeah, no, we are winning things this year. I really believe. I think we are. I think we might win the FA Cup this year. I'd love to win the FA Cup.
I think if we fail to win anything this season, I think Conte's going to be banging on that door and just saying, either you get these players in or I'm out. I think this is the make or break, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got to back him anyway. We still haven't fully backed him. We've bought the nucleus of a new team, and the players that were good enough to start, which should be backups, are good backups. But now we need.
The one thing that remains a prominent factor for me for this entire transfer window is something Will Stewart said weeks ago, and that was about if we sell off these players we don't want now, we could actually be turning a profit on this transfer window.
Yeah.
And now somebody try and explain to me how that would be backing the manager.
Yep. It's nonsense. It's total nonsense. I mean, where's that 150 million quid they put into the club to dilute the shares? Where have they put it? Or are they just diluting the shares of the club?
Just imagine if it would take some hell of an effort and perhaps a few mishaps on their part. But supposing we finish this season a couple of points behind Man City and they win it.
Yeah.
And there's some game we lost 1-0 where we couldn't find the extra way to get through an average team, a Southampton or a Leicester or something. And then we've had that 150 million sat in the bank that didn't get used.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. go the extra mile. Go the extra mile as a manager, as a player, but as a chairman as well.
Smokes leave is a genius. Big up.
Yeah,
Aussie.
absolutely.
This is what Conte said on future signings. I know I can't have everything quickly. It'd only be foolish to spend a lot of money suddenly. I think we're doing things the right way, and I understand this isn't the politics of the club.
There's no way that Conte said that.
It must be doctored.
No way he said that.
Well, then again, he's going to be privy to a longer term plan.
Yeah.
So he might have been told January we'll go out and get some more. Next summer we'll be spending this amount. If he knows the amounts and he's happy with it, then fair enough. But then if that's the case, why aren't we trying to get him signed up to a longer contract?
Yeah. Get it done. Get it done. United
that would convince me that he's happy with everything.
Yeah. That's the only way, because we are looking at the future based on the past, because you need to look at the past to see where you're going. You've got historical reference. And the club now, that Alfie Devine, prime example, we've let really good players go for nothing, like Dylan McCanday, who probably shouldn't have gone because he could still be a player. We let him go because we let his contract run down. We cannot. We've got to allow the manager, give the manager a big bumper contract with the players he needs in the contract. Still 2 marquee signings coming in, I'm telling you. But we should have bought marquee signings early to bed them into the team.
More importantly, we should never have been allowed to fall to this position anywhere where we have to buy so many players in one summer.
Issue is we could have spent the same money and brought in players that we addressed our needs better rather than having to buy 2 wing backs for the future. Yeah, agreed. Do you need a back rub, Bobby? I'll get the 5 guys over to you. Back replaced by Poch. It's a good conversation to have. That's why we're having it. But we are going to end the show there because it's our time is now officially up. So, Kuva, when can we next see you on the streams?
Oh, it's all about Bob Spurs Saturday nights. Nothing else matters then until being on stream with Bobby K and on the 3 Spurs Boys channel on Sunday night. Bit of much of the same thing.
Yeah.
But less people.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. So thank you for Kuva being on the show, and a massive thank you to everyone that stayed around for this basic ramble with 3 old gits. Yeah, you're an old git. You're older than me. That makes you an old git.
It's all relative.
It's all relative.
Relative. Oh, come on.
Can I dance on your grave? You can dance on mine.
You probably will dance on my grave. I'm probably going first, knowing me. So thank you all to everyone for showing up. And yeah, big up the NHS, big up Kuva, big up everyone in chat. And thank you so much. What's wrong with you? And as always, if you smell what the cough is brewing, big up.